Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So I think today or tonight you're going to look at the headlines and it'll show most sectors all making new highs today, whether monthly highs, 52-week highs. That scares some people sometimes because now they're thinking too many people are getting bullish, but I still don't see that in the sentiment numbers. What I'm more focused on is the setup and looking at levels and seeing things continue or seeing things change. And today there was a lot of shifts that if you were a little bit ahead of the curve, you could have really capitalized on. Let's start with the S&P cash first. You go here to the S&P cash, you will see that, again, you start back here, the bears tried to press the 2400 level, they couldn't get anything going, held in there, then you had this gap up to clear this descending channel here, and then yesterday the Dow was down 150, held the 8-day, and now look at us at all-time highs. Doesn't it look pretty darn methodical once you look at it in hindsight? Well, if you have a plan and you map out levels, you can almost draw the chart ahead of time. Okay, in order for this day to happen, it had to hold this area, and that's exactly what it did. So the question was, what was going to fuel this move, right? High beta tech, Freddie, was very strong, and we talked about that leading the market a week or two ago. Okay, and then the question was, can we get a little participation from the XLE, maybe from the small caps? So here you go, look at the small caps. First time the small caps actually closed on the highs, looking like it's going to break out. Okay, we hope it's not a trap, but for me, I don't look at things as a trap. All I know is that this was a high-level consolidation. I am long the IWMs. I was in them pre-market, and I added to them, and it's probably one of my biggest positions heading into tomorrow. Let's hope it's not a fake out. Let's hope we get a little bit of follow-through, to the upside. Some of you guys took the TNA. That's cool as well. I also got involved in XLE yesterday. I did a segment on CNBC showing the descending channel. I hope that it's not a trap, but again, I'm not playing for things to be traps. Last time, it came up to the 50-day moving average here. Looked like it was going to get through. Remember that? If you took this home long, you got screwed. So let's hope this time is a little bit different. Maybe it is. So I'm in it. This was my strategy. Let me see if we could hold 64.5 or held it. Then today, the oil number came out, was pretty bullish. They couldn't bring it in. And now here you are closing right around the 50-day. My humble opinion, if it's not a trap, it should see at least this, and that's a nice little trade. It's what I went over yesterday. I am in it, and hopefully, again, one day. It's not like it's up 4 days in a row. It's up one day, engulfing a range. Good book to me says take some, even though it's been in a bad trend. Sometimes they change a little bit. As far as high beta tech, big moves yesterday. Netflix was unbelievable. Closing the highs. We talked about yesterday's high as a pivot to get more cash flow. You look at Netflix. Netflix traded above that and gave you a little bit of a move and came off a little bit. Didn't create quite a topping tail, but to me, I would be a little hands off now. Took out this spot, little topping tail. It can go through a little basing period. I had Amazon on most of this week. I did sell it today. Why did I sell it today? Just because it's not a clear-cut setup. Okay, I liked it, buying it in this upper flag, which is where I was positioning. A good add yesterday, today. A little bit of a topping tail, came down a little, extended from the 8-day and the 21-day. Earnings aren't until next week, so I said, you know what? I'm going to be flatted overnight. I've been long it the past 2 days overnight. Facebook, super duper extended. I would not be long it, unless you're investing in it. It is what it is. The time to be long it for a swing trade was here or here, and now, it's coming in a little bit very extended from the 8-day and the 21-day. So, I'm not saying it's a short, but I'm just saying it's not a meaty long right now. Meaty longs happen here and here, not multiple days later. As far as Twitter, people are like, why are you in Twitter? You know what? It's been good to me. I'm in the options. For some reason, my little gut is telling me that well, not that little anymore, but that we're going to be testing this gap area at some point. And so I've been in it pretty much trading around it since here. That's when I bought the options on this gap up. Actually, no, on this day, I'm sorry. This is when we got involved in the options, and now look, looks pretty good. Something to buy on dips, not get too excited about. The IBB I've been in since last week also. Really nice move. I know there's a little bit of a topping tail here. It's just, to my opinion, it's a little extended, so I stayed in some. I sold some that I had from yesterday at the close, but I'm still in some. We'll see tomorrow, even if it fills this gap a little bit. I think that it's not the end of the road for the IBB. I think it's acting very well. As far as some Chinese names, Baba did have a bit of a reversal today. Not the end of the world. We've seen this before. Okay, I wouldn't say go home short, but I maybe wouldn't be all in long either. last time it opened and closed near the lows, you had an opportunity to buy it, and then today it opened up big and faded. It's just a little choppier. This was your time to get your meaty long when you had this pennant that held. When the market came in, it held the 8-day. That was your time. Now, a little bit more wait and see. I also had Momo, which was a nice trade. It's not game over here yet either. It's just, to me, if Baba went red and this went red, I'll wait to see, what could happen next. I did buy, BlackBerry just as a little quickie. I haven't been in this in so long, and someone's just like, red dog, look at BlackBerry. Perhaps it woke up today, so it woke up a little bit. Maybe we'll see. It's not a big trade. And lastly, X. I've said a lot of different times that I'm never going to trade this ever again because it's so darn choppy. But you know what? I'm backing it overnight. It did trade into the gap on some volume, so perhaps it tries to fill some of this. It's got to obviously get through the 200-day first. It was at 43. Now it's at 24. So that's something to do. So I'm still looking just for things to do. I'm rotating around. I'm in sectors that I'm not that familiar with. I'm looking at patterns, and that's how you could shift around to make money versus just shifting around looking for tops. I'll see you in the morning at the Morning Call Express. Bye-bye.